Now broadcasting live from Gaborone, this is your BTV News at 7 minutes after 3 p.m. My name is Kylo Sabo and we are together from now until the end of this bulletin. Now, in our headlines, Boitumelo Kgofamodimo has been elected as a member of parliament today. And the newly approved National Transformation Strategy to help Botswana become a high-income economy by 2036. While in sports, Botswana Athletics Association honors the late long-distance runner, coach and former BAA board member, Re Moses Raputsi. Now, let's start our news. The policy and strategy for the development of the National Planning Commission, Re David Sefawe, says the newly appointed National Transformation Strategy will help Botswana become a high-income country by 2036. However, to achieve this, the economy should not be fully dependent on government, but rather should be led by the private sector. Resefawa was speaking at a press conference yesterday. Khorata Maranyane and Bufelo Mutsumi.
On July 2019, the President, Dr. Mokgweetsi Eric Masisi, appointed the National Strategy Transformation Team with the aim to shape and drive the Vision 2036 pillars for attainment of sustainable economic development, human and social development, as well as good governance. The main aim of this agenda is to help the country on its transitional plan to move from an upper middle income to a high income country.
And for you to achieve that, we need to diversify private sector led. We need a diversified private sector led economy. This objective will see what is very, very loaded. I want you to specifically look at 3 words there. The first word is diversified. Second word, private sector. And the third word is export. Diversified in the sense that over the period, we have been failing as an economy to diversify away from diamonds, but in particular diamonds. Almost 80% of our revenues are coming from diamonds. But for you to be a sustainable, to have a sustainable economic development, you will need to have a diversified economy so that whenever there are challenges or shocks in the mining sector.
The National Planning Strategy focuses on 8 specific industries or sectors of the economy to drive economic growth, development, and competitiveness.
So as we are coming up with our National Development Plan 12, we will be taking into consideration what the strategy has prioritized so that we are able to transform our economy and also address the challenges which he has alluded to as he was presenting. And also what is important is to highlight that our planning cycle will be aligned to the electoral cycle in line with our National Planning Bill 2023, so that we allow for the newly elected administration to have strategic leadership.
The National Planning Commission is expected to conduct a roadshow around the country with the intention to upskill Botswana about national transformation strategy. Khorata Maranyane, BTV News, Gaborone.
And now the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock from Zambia, Engineer Himba Chelo, says their visit to Botswana strengthens the two nations' bilateral cooperation in agriculture development. She said this during their benchmarking meeting with the Ministry of Agriculture on how to transform the agriculture sector of both nations by sharing their experiences. The Zambian delegation will have an opportunity to tour and visit places like the Botswana Meat Commission, the Artificial Insemination Center, Ramatlabama, amongst other places.
The President of the Republic of Zambia, His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema, was on a working visit at Kasane in January at the invitation of his counterpart, His Excellency Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi. The two heads of state held bilateral talks on a couple of issues, and part of their discussions, agriculture featured very prominently. Following that visit, Engineer Chielo and his delegation are also here on a benchmark exercise on how to transform the agricultural sector of the two nations by sharing their experiences.
We have obviously come to Botswana appreciating the strengths, that Botswana possesses, and these strengths are in the beef production subsector, amongst other strengths. We are coming here to learn and leverage on some of these strengths, recognizing that the livestock industry plays an important role in the trajectory of an economic development.
We have already developed a program called Temo le Tlotlo. Now we have moved to Tuo le Tlotlo because we want to up our game significantly in terms of agriculture. In the arable subsector also, we are pushing. We are not saying we don't have rains. We are saying we have to be innovative to be able to produce in terms of arable agriculture.
This visit was again said will accord them an opportunity to take home key lessons in many areas, including bull management strategies, among others.
We want to understand what has made your livestock breeding effective. Okay, so effective livestock breeding for enhanced production and productivity through appropriate breeding technologies such as artificial insemination, which you alluded to. We are looking at understanding your bull management techniques.
During the period that Engineer Chelo and her delegation will be here, they will have an opportunity to tour and visit places like Botswana Meat Commission, Artificial Insemination Center in Ramatabama, among others, just to appreciate the progress Botswana has made in its efforts of developing the agricultural sector, particularly livestock. BTV News, Gaborone.
Now, in the just ended elections at the Parliament of Botswana, Khofa Modimo has been elected as a special member of Parliament. 34 members out of 47 of Parliament voted in her favor. The by-election follows the redeployment of special elected member Filda Kering, who was also the Minister of Environment and Tourism, to become High Commissioner of Botswana to Nigeria. Now, the operation team at the Mongoto Concession Limited Mine, or BCL, is working tirelessly to manage water levels in the mine's underground tunnels, aiming to stop tremors experienced in some parts of Silvipekwe. These tremors have persisted since December last year and are believed to be the result of rising underground water levels. Mamusi Siska.
For years, this town has been defined by the presence of the BCL mine, symbolizing industry and prosperity, until its closure in 2016. However, recently, the town has been shaken by a series of tremors, causing fear and uncertainty among its residents.
Kopana le ba Botswana Geoscience le Department of Mines go leka go engage Botswana Geoscience go leka go batisisa go bona gore seemo se se ka tswa se ba kwa keng re mo thulaganyong gone yana re bereka le ba Botswana Geoscience go leka go batisisa bana le instrument tse ba di tsentse mo moepong tse dingwe di kotase ka go southeast tse dingwe di go surface mo mahelong a harloganeng e le gone go leka gore di ba thusa go monitora seemo.
Amidst this fear, a glimmer of hope emerged. The BCL operation team has returned to the mine to control the flooding of the underground tunnels.
ga ba bua nne ba re a tla be a le go 8:30 ga ke sa go se 8:20 mme gore ba re ke sone selo se leng gore ba tlo ba le ka go akgamela gone go gore ba pompe yana goromente tota ga nna hela goromente o tabogile le ena go bona gore makalana a gagwe ba dira se tshwanetseng.
The team is working tirelessly to pump out the water and stabilize the tunnels.
Ka ha Phikwe Central kana 3 shaft re tsentse dipompo di a pompa metsi a boela ko morago ko Southeast Extension shaft le gona re tsentse dipompo but ile temporary solution. Both shafts ra pompa, Southeast and 3 shaft ra pompa, but the permanent pumps for Southeast Extension.
Currently, the water levels have decreased and the tremors have gradually subsided. The intention is to continue with this operation and hopefully to be included in the mine closure plan. Mamu Sisiska, BTV News, Silibe Phikwe.
You're watching BTV News and thank you for staying with us. Moving on, the First Lady, Mene Masisi, has emphasized the crucial need for collaboration between individuals who depend on natural resources for sustenance to collaborate with research experts in order to exchange ideas that can further improve the quality of their products and business. The First Lady said this during a benchmarking event at the University of Zimbabwe on Monday. Kabelo Khakololo.
In a quest to promote initiatives aimed at empowering women, the First Lady recently added natural resource-based community businesses to her priority list. She recently identified the Mabolo women Moana products in the Bubirwa area as key players in the promotion of food security in the country. Though they have been able to put food on the table, their business has not shown any significant growth over the years due to a number of challenges, including but not limited to lack of business acumen, innovation, research and development. Apart from organizing training with Nadi for them, the First Lady has also taken some of the members on a benchmarking exercise to University of Zimbabwe, which launched an innovation research and development hub in 2019.
And the understanding that science, technology, and innovation will be our future aim for development. So, having gotten that call, this innovation hub was built entirely by University of Zimbabwe staff as part of the new education system.
The hub has so far conducted a lot of research and produced many baobab products since inception.
A baobab festival, where you are just trying the baobab and just tickling your palate all the way. And you could even have the culinary scientists, if I may call you that, not only from Botswana, but neighboring Zimbabwe. And you bring these scientists at different levels. They would represent basic community, what they got from their grandparents, and you would be the model and the innovator.
The Mabula ladies say they have benefited a great deal from the exercise.
And we did little body donne, body oil, body yogurt, but little juice. So I say, look, one hour, Mwana, who can kiss a home, Makele Mochuan, Kilebele, some of what about Diraba University, the Banaka gets a medical famu.
Women empowerment remains a priority for sustainable livelihoods by the year 2030. Kakolo, BTV News, Harare, Zimbabwe.
Now, the chairperson of the Tsabong District Council, Hendrik Jacobs, says the council has registered 16 child negligence cases in the district. The parents of these children are said to mostly be below the age of 30. Jacobs said this when addressing councillors at a full council meeting in Tsabong.
Mr. Jacobs said most child neglect cases can be traced back to parents who had their first child before they turned 18 due to defilement and therefore are not ready nor are they equipped to take on parenthood. Therefore, they end up neglecting those children.
There are 16 reported cases of child neglect in the district. The cases are mainly the young parents of 30 years and below with more than one child. The negative impact of early introduction of sexual activities, alcohol and drug abuse in one's psychological development, and if care is not taken, the ripple effects of these social ills will continue to show up in the upcoming generations. We cannot shy away from emphasizing the need for each and every one of us to be bold and intentional and in addressing social ills affecting children in this district.
Mr. Jacobs also alerted councillors on the increase of defilement cases in the district.
37 cases handled by the department. 84 cases are defilement. It is worth noting that these 84 cases refer to the reported cases only. There are many that slip through our fingers because parents of the victims are concealing them. Between the month of December 2023 and January 2024, the department managed to close 17 cases.
Mr. Jacobs has cemented Zabon District Council commitment to protecting the rights of children by reporting child neglect and defilement cases to the police so that those responsible face the full wrath of the law. BTV News, Zabon.
Now let's end our bulletin right here. It's Roseronko standing by to give you sports updates.
Let me thank you, Sabone, and greetings to you all. Now we get into In Context, the sports news with me, Roseronko. And with that, let's get straight into it. Botswana Athletics Association yesterday held a memorial service in honor of former long-distance runner coach and a former BAA board member Moses Raputsi. The memorial service, which attracted former athletes, was to celebrate the life of a former national athlete who has served the country's athletics from 1987 to the time of his passing. Seholame Bayeng has more.
go rwala maleo a batho ba le bantsi gore ba ba moemetseng ka tlhwagalo a tla bonnela bobedi go go bone a bonlela go ba boloka.
Paceman, as he was affectionately known in the athletic circles, served the BAA at length as a regional chairperson for the Central Region from 2001 to 2019. As a former national team long-distance athlete, he competed at the 1987 South Korea World Marathon and other major races within the region, continent and international, alongside the likes of Them Benganye, Bobby Hasitsiwe and others.
One na an supporta thata mo tirong ya me ka gore nako eo tiro ya me ne ile go tlhabolola athletics mo meding go tswa go meding ke ruta matishara go tswa go primary go tswa go secondary re dira so se ne go te development.
His colleagues at work described him as a firm, passionate leader and advocate for sports with virtues stretching beyond the constraints of office protocol. He has also led various national teams to regional, continental and world championships during his time in the BAA office, where he was also a board member.
I can sum up Pace as an amazing gentleman. Ke berekile le Raputsi o bereketse le hatshele e tera ngwe ke bua ke re go na le batho ba ba tuelo tsa bone di ta tswang go le godimo jaaka Paceman o na bereka ka botswapelo
se ke se tsenka ena gore ga di ga go nna swalo wa di mala ga ke di order o tla di order go tlhoka di dira na go
re na rata gore ga rena le ene ana ba re kgatha gore ne re interacta na setsa na kgona go dira tlhaloganyo ya go e ka re ke atlete gape e ka re ke monkana rona mme gape re itse gore ke re rona ke mogolo ga ngwe ne kgona gore di-race di elana ba re phutha re bana we ya be tšhaile go tšhaya a reng ko lewateng re go gasanang ka metsi bana ao
la ka ba tswa a go campaignetse wa tlhotsho ga pele wa se kwa tsamaya sentle nya ga tshabe gore a boya gape ya go di campaign yo ke ileng ka bereka le ene ko sesoleng ka kgona go bereka le ene mo mabelong.
Raputsi was among the founding members of Pigwe Marathon as well as the Madinare Christmas Marathon. Paceman will be buried this Thursday at his home village, Madinare. Segolami, Baeng, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Now moving on to Botswana Premier League, newly appointed VTM head coach Ruben Njavera Chikoti says they are aiming for maximum points when they face BDF 11 this afternoon at VTM Arena. Chikoti, who replaced Lukwetsi Tshireletso, also revealed that his mandate is to steer Bafana Bafana away from the relegation zone. Kamelo Munsusi reports.
VTM get into this encounter in fine form after registering 2 draws, 2 losses and a 3-1 win over Holy Coast in their last 5 league games. Bafana Bafana will walk into the pitch in high spirits following a 3-0 victory over Matebele in the Orange FA Cup. VTM are currently seated 12 on the log with 16 points and will need all 3 points to continue their quest to avoid relegation.
It was a sweet victory against Matebele, and it's a different ball game altogether. Against Matebele, it was a cup game, and so now we are shifting the concentration, the focus on the BDF. They are like Matebele. They play more like Matebele. Why I say they play more like Matebele is because they use power play in pace. Okay. So to count on that, I feel it is better with the strength of my boys is to keep the ball.
BDF 11 on the other side have registered 3 draws and 2 losses in their last 5 league games. Head coach Nelson Siswane says the team has to go back to winning ways to secure a spot in the top 8 bracket. BDF are 7th on the log with 21 points from 14 games.
We've been working so hard on the aggression. Because we played them and we've realized now we'll come up with a plan all these days, the preparation. But of course it's one game. People, I think, there's pressure in the sense of they're going up. But to really we shouldn't get carried away, excited,
The last time the two teams faced each other was in the first round when they played to a goalless draw. Kamelo Munsusi, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Battle for the top 4 of Botswana Premier League owners will be this afternoon at the National Stadium when Matebele takes on Security Systems. The two sides are currently tied at 22 points each with only a 2 goals difference. Lydia Puluko and Thomas Monamura has more.
After being knocked out of the Season 5 Orange FA Cup last 48 by fellow Premier League rookies VTM FC 3-0 over the weekend, coach Elias Chinyamba said their focus will now turn to the league, where the objective is to keep their Premier League status. Currently, Gugantu are 4th on the log standings after securing 6 wins, 4 draws and losing 5 in the process. Chinyamba will be banking on Thabo Maponda, Kemi Pilato and Bonolo Maseya to collect maximum points for his side.
We've got a boost in our camp with the return of 2 players from injury, which will give us a lot of options up front. Hopefully tomorrow they will really make a difference. It's always exciting to be where we are on the log. We are on the top 4 bracket. We have worked hard to be there, and we will continue working hard to try and maintain that 4th position or go better and do better by the end of the season. So it's a game we are really looking forward to, and we'll definitely give as much as we get. Hopefully by the end of the 90 minutes we'll collect the maximum points.
Security Systems, on the other hand, occupies 5th spot with 7 wins, a draw and 7 losses from 15 encounters. Coach David Botlasitse is hopeful that they'll do better after working hard on their striking force, which has been letting them down in their last 3 matches. In the absence of their goalkeeper, Michael Masule, the Alam Boys will rely on the well-experienced players in the likes of Michael Tinye, Tebogo Kopela, Tato Okopotse to bring them favorable results.
We've been preparing well, but in a more detailed manner, because if you check our last 3 games, we haven't scored a goal. Hence, we have been concentrating on finishing and defending. We are on the same points. They are above us by goal difference. if the security systems that we normally know turns up, we can get out of that game with a positive result.
Another clash also on Wednesday will see third place Gaborone United with 28 points continue their race at the top by visiting Tafik at Francistown Council Stadium. Sixth place Machimenyenga with 21 points welcomes Miakhulele just few days after parting ways with our coach Philemon Makwengwe. Kick-off time for both matches is at 4:30. Lydia Poloko, BTV Sport, Tlokweng.
And that is all that we had for you from In Context, the Sports Desk. Let's meet later on at 5 p.m. for BOTSWANA News. And with that, have a blessed afternoon. And of course, kindly be reminded to continue on rallying behind the hashtag changing hashtag BW Mindset Change. It is very, very vital. With that, Galo Sabone is on standby to continue with In Context here on BTV News channel, hashtag Ikanyarona.